Alright, so for this first haircut, we're going to be performing a very creative mullet. His hair is not too long, not too overgrown, so there's just some areas that we need to really shape out. Up top, we're going to go for more of a nice square shape, and we're just going to add a lot of texture on top for a lot of movement, and so that the hair is easily stylable. In the back, we noticed that the mullet is sitting pretty nicely, but there is some weight that needs to be worked on. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of weight out in the back, and then for the sides, we're going to take it to a nice clean burst fade so that it blends in nice with the mullet. And then we might add a little bit of a design at the end too. This is more of a creative haircut, so you guys are going to be able to see how I like to take creative control over a look like this. Yeah, let's just get right into it. Most important part of the haircut, fully saturate the hair down. The biggest thing I would say is getting the hair really to the roots. The roots is where it's going to hold the most water. The roots tend to be the thickest part of the hair follicle, so let's start with the back here. If you take a look at the crown, right, you notice that his head shape is pretty round right here. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna separate the back to the top, okay? So we're just gonna find that round, right around there, right? I'm gonna do it right where the round begins, right around there. Now this section, there's a specific name for it. It's called the radial section.
The radial section?
The radial section. Immediately what I'm going to do is I'm going to section out the top so that we don't have to even worry about this area right now. Okay. Now, I actually like the length of his mullet. Can we agree on this?
Yeah,
like,
it looks good.
It looks good. Like, I don't think it needs to be shorter. I want more movement, honestly.
Yes.
I want more movement, and layering is going to create movement. So first things first, I'm going to create a guide straight down the middle. Okay, grab that section. I want you to get in the process of working really clean. So now we have a guide in the middle, right? I'm probably gonna go with the next round layer.
Okay.
I want a round body because I want to emphasize movement, right? But I'm actually gonna go with the round shape, but I'm actually gonna leave a little bit more length towards the neck, so it's gonna go swoop.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so I like where that length is, but I'm just gonna slightly start rounding it from probably around like right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that out.
That really matters, right? Because it's like, it's not a lot, but it's...
This is gonna create the biggest difference
Yeah.
in weight. And then here, we can kind of change the position and go from underneath because the positioning might get a little tougher. So, okay, so we can see what we're working with. Now we gotta be mindful, this bottom area here, if it's cut too much, we wanna leave a little bit more weight, right? So we're gonna extend outwards. Section number 2. Same thing, pick the hair up. Check your guide, it's that clean guide. Graduation would be when I'm stacking the hair, building the weight up. This is actually layering because I'm moving in vertical sections, removing weight. Also another thing right now that we're keeping mindful of, I want to make sure that the choice of length is correct. So I'm actually going to be over directing 0. So I'm just cutting it off base. Off base meaning like, I'm just checking the section, I'm pulling this hair directly off base. Okay, so I'm not going left.
You're not over directing.
Yeah, I'm not over directing nothing. I'm just going I'm just emphasizing movement right now. Boom, there's our guide. Okay. For this time. Last section, pull. Okay, lots of movement. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to disconnect the sides from the top. Same thing. There's the round right there. Now because I want to save some of the corners, I'm actually going to go slightly higher to the The reason why I just took that section is because I just want to remove more weight through here.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, exactly, because I want to leave this. Basically, I'm separating the parietal ridge from the apex, going with the slight diagonal section going down. Okay, so from here, we're gonna create our first guide, and what are we gonna be doing here? Graduating the hair. So this is where we're building up weight, right?
Okay.
We're gonna stack weight as we go up, and you're gonna see that. Forward graduation. Grab that. Boom. Set my guide. Boom, that's our first guide. Second guide. I'm gonna over direct this down to the bottom. Pulling down, checking the guide. Last guideline, lead it all the way to the front. grab the back. I'm just gonna create a nice square shape, okay? And for the top, since it's pretty short, I'm not gonna add any movements of texture just yet. I'm just worried about getting the length down. Bring that section down, create a second section. Now this is where something is a crucial step. Because I'm creating a square shape from the front, I gotta over direct this section back to previous. So I have to push it. Because if you're trying to create a square shape from the front, it needs to be longer towards the sides, right? Because we have to create this motion, right? From the front. To create this, head dips right here. So we need to bring it back to previous to create everything the same length.
Okay.
Oh. Top, sides, back, everything is done. I'm so in an urge to just see the shape at this point, right?
Right.
So let's go ahead and let's go add some product. We cut it forward, so we're styling it forward. I like how the texture is looking on top right now, but for the back, I want to go for something way different. I want to pop the curls out, diffuse it. So it's like two different haircuts put to one, and they just extremely complement each other right now, right?
Super.
And just like visually, I kind of noticed some bulk right here. This is kind of like a visual area, so visually I noticed some bulk. Check your guide. I was right. It's too much bulk, so I'm just gonna cut that out. Right here, a little bit too heavy, right? See that? A little bit too much heavier. See if I was right. Yep. Yeah, I really like how this is turning out. Okay, so now we have a lot more playing room with the clipper work now, right? I really like this, how this haircut is looking right now, but I don't really like how this size is looking, so let's move right into clipper work. Closed, and I'm just gonna knock it out. Open it up. Okay, that's basically how I finished the fade out. And now all I need to do is detail with piece of one, halfway, detail.
One halfway up.
Yep,
Halfway
detail.
up.
Yep. And now I'm just lever playing, getting rid of shadows, whatnot. Okay, and then closed, knock out that last line. And just start to detail this fade out. Before like finishing the fade off completely, I'm just gonna set in my exterior outlines real quick. So same thing, back here, mullet, right? I wanna emphasize the mullet, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of a hook. Okay. So that like adding the fade and then just like finishing out, that definitely makes the haircut more pop right now, right? All right, so we're almost done with the process of the haircut here. We're just gonna do like the final blade work and then go on to post styling. Another area like I like to outline is just like the back of the ear, just get all that. Okay, so now everything's just super nice and clean. The canvas is like fully faded, lined up. We're just gonna move right on to post styling. Okay, so we're gonna go with two different finishes. So up top, I'm gonna use a little bit of sculpting clay from Mason's just to give it that dry look. And then in the back, I'm gonna go with gel pomade. I call this a transition zone. Add both products to this transition zone.
Okay.
And to the back, I'm gonna add gel pomade. And what gel pomade is gonna do is it's gonna allow the curls to sit like real nice and curly. So you're gonna be able to see right here. I'm just gonna really hit the ends. And then how I like to usually finish all my haircuts is just a little bit of hairspray. So since the direction here is drifting forward, I'm just gonna spray it. Keep moving forward, up. I want a little bit more volume out here, so I'm just gonna spray a little bit of spray. What we did in the back here, Dylan, is we completely removed all the weight through the back. Okay, on top we went with a nice square shape, left more length in the fringe. And then we did a nice slight, call it a high taper slash like a little bit of a burst, but went with a nice fade so it transitions into the curly look. On the back we styled it completely curly, as you can tell, right? It's just curly.
Yep.
And then on top it's just really nice, messy and textured, but everything just sits and flows like perfectly evenly. So yeah, this is gonna be my final look for model number 1 out of 4 of the 2 days. But yeah, I just went with like a super creative mullet for this one.